You keep thinking about them, not just once or twice, but constantly. Their voice lingers in your mind, and even the smallest memory makes your heart race just a little faster. But here's the question. Are you just infatuated, or are you actually falling in love? As a psychology expert, I can tell you, love doesn't always begin with fireworks. Sometimes it starts in the quietest ways, hidden in the little things we overlook. In this video, we're diving deep into the 10 psychological signs that reveal you're falling in love, even if you haven't said the words yet. And trust me, by the end, you might realize your heart has already made a decision your mind is still trying to understand. Sign 1, you start idealizing their flaws. You notice their flaws, but somehow they don't feel like flaws at all. That awkward laugh? Suddenly it's the cutest sound in the world. The way they mess up their words, you find it charming. Psychologically, this is called positive illusion. Your brain, under the influence of love hormones like dopamine and oxytocin, starts to paint them in a softer light. You're not just seeing them, you're seeing a version of them that your heart is already protecting. And here's the truth. When their imperfections become part of what makes them beautiful to you, that's no longer just attraction. That's emotional attachment. That's the beginning of falling deep. Sign 2, you replay conversations in your mind. You had a simple conversation, maybe about nothing special, but later that night, it plays on repeat in your mind. Every word, every smile, every pause. This isn't just daydreaming. Psychologically, it's a sign of mental rehearsal, where the brain replays emotionally significant events to process and preserve them. When you're falling in love, even the smallest exchange becomes meaningful. Your mind clings to it because your heart already sees value in it. And here's what's powerful. You don't just remember what they said, you remember how it made you feel. Safe, seen, excited. That emotional replay? It's love whispering to you in quiet echoes. Sign 3, you feel their pain deeply. You see a flicker of sadness in their eyes, and suddenly it hits you like a wave. Their pain doesn't just concern you, it hurts you. This is the work of mirror neurons, tiny circuits in your brain that allow you to feel what others feel. But when you're falling in love, those neurons light up stronger and faster. Their joy becomes your joy, and their struggles somehow feel personal. This kind of empathy goes beyond kindness. It's emotional merging. When their tears feel like your own, it's not just a sign of care. It's a sign your heart is bonding. Sign 4, you're drawn to their gaze. There's something about their eyes. You can't explain it. You find yourself staring a little longer, and when your eyes meet, it's like time slows down. Psychologically, this is powerful. Eye contact activates the limbic brain, the emotional center, and increases oxytocin, the bonding chemical. It creates a silent intimacy that words can't reach. If you notice that looking into their eyes feels comforting, magnetic, or even familiar, your subconscious is already forming a deep emotional attachment. Falling in love isn't always loud. Sometimes it happens in a glance. Sign 5, your daily routine starts to include them. You wake up and they're the first thought in your mind. You grab your phone to share something funny before even brushing your teeth. Slowly, without realizing it, they've become part of your everyday rhythm. Psychologists call this cognitive interdependence. When you begin to weave someone into your mental and emotional world, you're no longer thinking about them. You're thinking with them. What would they think of this show? Would they laugh at this meme? When someone becomes part of your internal dialogue, it's a sign your brain is starting to plan a future with them, even in the smallest ways. Sign 6, time feels different around them. You spend hours with them, and it feels like minutes. But when they're gone, even a few minutes feel like hours. This isn't just emotion, it's neuroscience. When you're falling in love, your brain is flooded with dopamine and adrenaline. These chemicals heighten focus and alter your perception of time. Being with them creates a kind of emotional time warp. The world fades. You lose track of everything, except them. When someone has the power to bend time in your heart, it's more than attraction, it's connection, and it runs deep. Sign 7. Your emotions swing more than usual. One moment, you're smiling for no reason. The next, you're overthinking a text they didn't reply to. You feel excited, nervous, vulnerable, all at once. This emotional roller coaster is real, and it's a result of chemical shifts in your brain. When you're falling in love, levels of dopamine, cortisol, and serotonin fluctuate rapidly. It's the same chemical pattern seen in both euphoria and anxiety. So if your heart feels unsteady, like it's racing towards something you can't control, it's not chaos, it's chemistry. And behind all that chaos, a growing emotional attachment that's deeper than you may realize. Sign 8. You struggle to stay objective. Suddenly, friends start saying, "You've changed." You catch yourself defending things you never would have before. Criticism feels harder to accept because your heart has already made its choice. Psychologists call this love blindness, a temporary lowering of critical thinking and skepticism. Your brain's reward system overrides caution, making you focus on the good while downplaying the flaws. It's not denial. It's your mind's way of protecting something precious that's beginning to take root deep inside. Sign 9. You fantasize about a future. You catch yourself daydreaming, not just about moments together, but about what could be. What if you traveled there? What if you celebrated holidays as a pair? This mental projection is your subconscious weaving them into your life story. Psychologists call it future pacing, a way your brain prepares emotionally by imagining shared experiences. When you start picturing a we instead of just a me, it's a powerful sign your heart is ready to build something lasting. Sign 10. You're vulnerable, and it feels okay. You find yourself sharing things you've never told anyone before, your fears, your dreams, your hidden parts. And instead of feeling exposed, you feel safe. This is the magic of emotional bonding. The hormone oxytocin lowers social anxiety and builds trust, allowing your defenses to drop naturally. When vulnerability stops being scary and starts feeling like comfort, that's one of the clearest signs you're truly falling in love. Bonus twist. Love often begins in silence. Before love is ever spoken, it's quietly felt, in the shared glances, the comfortable silences, the unspoken understanding. Psychology shows us that the deepest bonds often form in moments without words, where two souls simply exist alongside each other. So even if the words "I love you" haven't been said, sometimes your heart has already whispered the truth. Which of these signs spoke to you the most? Have you noticed any of them quietly unfolding in your own heart? Share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear how love has surprised you. If you found this video meaningful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might be falling in love too, but hasn't quite realized it yet. Remember, love often starts in the smallest moments, and sometimes it's already there before you even know it.